for this. And I'm so excited. We're moving on, and I know I kind of went over a little bit on my time. This is a great interview. I hope you guys are taking nuggets that we are growing and learning from this. Make sure you share this opportunity with other friends. I'm telling you guys that the people that we're having on here today, I vetted these people out, and so these people are here to bring nuggets and treasure to you to present today. And so I won't keep you any longer. I'm going to read this bio, and I'm not going to bring back up you don't have to release back my thing, because it's going to be hard to bring up those pictures and stuff, but I want to keep going. And I want to read Mr. Terrance McMahon. Now, my husband told me how to pronounce his name, because I was trying to pronounce it McMahon or something, I don't know what. But thank you, Nicholas, for helping me pronounce his name. And it got Mr. Roots, if you're still watching too, I want to tell you, you have some people in the scrolls that are telling you great interview, and thank you for the nuggets that you've given. And so I am excited. I vetted this gentleman on TikTok and then looked up, he's an author. He has experienced and overcome great things physically. And this gentleman, I would watch his TikToks. I loved him. I was attracted to them. I didn't realize, I kind of saw him in one place and didn't know he was the same guy. And, it brought it together. I was like, this is the guy I watch. I was telling my husband, look. So he brings nuggets on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, follow him. Make sure you follow his videos on there, because he'll give you 3 reasons for this and do this and do that. And it's cool. He's almost like Rico Suave when he's talking, you know what I'm saying? So, but I want to read his bio. He's faced with failing liver and death. And the only thing that could save him would be an 11th hour liver transplant. Someone else had to die for him to live. Terry's journey towards survival and recovery is not just about his physical health. It is more about deeply moving mental and spiritual process to recreate himself. I want to introduce you. This is Terry Bills. He wrote the book Superhero: Self to Overcome Any Challenge When the Odds Are Stacked Against You. He is an advisor to advisors. So that means people that are advising people, he's the big man to tell them what to do, okay? So the information that he's going to give you guys, he understands overcoming. He's been to a low place and he's transitioned. I'm gonna bring him up. I don't know how we can bring up Mr. Terry McMahon. Where is he at? Y'all bring him in. Hi, Terry.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
There you go. I'm like, and please forgive me. I have your bio. You gave me 2 bios. This is a short bio, but I should have read the other one. Excuse me. Terrance. I'm talking about Terry. Terrance, thank you for being on this show. You are awesome. Like, I feel like you're a celebrity because I enjoy watching you. Your charisma and the way you carry yourself is awesome. I'm sorry, you were saying thank you, and so I'm sorry, I'm just running my mouth because I'm a little nervous, but
not at all. Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here to support your group and offer anything I can to help anybody on their journey.
Thank you. Well, I watch you on TikTok. I'll get to start with this question because you'll be on TikTok and you will say 5 ways to make $1 million, and then you'll break it down clearly, just boom, 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 and you have step by step. So how did you come up with those ideas to create something like that to draw people?
All right. I mean, TikTok was kind of a joke to us. I have a business. It's an ongoing business, and my producer for my podcast came up with the idea of doing a TikTok. I didn't even know what the hell a TikTok was, and this was in May. Of course, the pandemic's shutting down, so people are looking to fill the space that they had with something. And I always kind of, identified myself as a curator. Like a museum curator, when someone does an important job in a museum, because you show people parts of an exhibit and you show it to them in an order that they can get part of the experience. Like King Tut, if we remember when we were kids, they figured out that exhibit had thousands and thousands of pieces, but the museum can only take a few. So the curator's got to decide what pictures they see in what order. And that's what we kind of do with TikTok. We curate big ideas from big books in business and life. So it's about boosting your brain, building your business. And I kind of flip-flop back and forth because I've been on a crazy journey and I have a lot of lessons to offer the world, and I deliver them in sound bites, which was always one of my gifts, making the complex sound easy. So TikTok was just about 1 minute mentoring ideas in business and life, and helping these 1 minute ideas for the next generation entrepreneur or wantrepreneur. So any idea that I gotten from TikTok, I probably got from one of the books behind me in my sacred bookshelf of books that offer wonderful ideas that can help you escalate your life. I mean, live a better life and improve a little bit each day. That was kind of it. And it's grown to almost 250,000 people fully organically. And I don't know, wow. I still don't know what it is. As I had a little 14-year-old kid. Yeah, maybe that'd be great.
It's your charisma. Yeah, no, I'm telling you. I can spot it from a long way. You're across the world, across the United States, but it is, you have a charisma that God is, that's part of your gift, And I was going to ask you, you said you read books. What books did you read? You have some behind you, but what are your top 3 books?
The top 3 books are on the top of my bookshelf there. The number 1 book is a book called Essentialism, which is the first part of my, I have a transformation story. So I broke it down to 3 things that I did to kind of go from being terminally ill, waiting for a last minute liver transplant, because I drank myself into alcoholic liver failure, even though I built a business that was doing 8 figures and I was earning 7 figures, doing the wrong thing well, to completely recreating myself into somebody else. It's a journey, and the three steps to my algorithm for transformation, business or life, is the first one is about decisions. And decisions is not about adding things to your life, it's about cutting away. The word actually means cut away. The D means away from, and incision means to cut, like an incision and a divorce. So you need to cut away from things. So it's about cutting things out of your life, which is identity, kill your old identity. I had this kind of rock star identity, although I didn't look like Steven Tyler. I looked more like Tommy Boy. I was 350 pounds, but I lived a rock star life, made a lot of money, kind of an intersection of the Wolf of Wall Street and Tommy Boy, like this crazy big personality that I did the wrong thing well. And it's eventually caught up with my body. And so I had to kill that person. I had to chop it away. And then the people and places I did, and the stories I told myself. So you got to decide that. And when you do this, just like TikTok created a lot of time, you have you have a void in your life. And the law of thermodynamics says that energy isn't created or destroyed, it's transferred. So once something leaves your body, your spiritual body, your physical body, or your time, something has to occupy that. And the first thing you got to occupy it with is a story. So you got to install a new story that's more meaningful, not the rock star party guy that made a lot of money, but the superhero, right? And somebody that had a philosophy of possibility and human potential, and left the world better than he came into it. So that's about installing a story, a why. And I'll get you the books in a second. And the final thing is, how do you do it? How do you get to doing that story? How do you execute? And that's about dominoes. It's about knocking over little dominoes that in order that create a big result. The problem is a lot of people see the dominoes, and I have these props here, these metaphorical dominoes. Like, people don't realize the power a little domino has, and they've seen the videos where this domino is moved and it knocks this one over, and millions at a time can keep going. It never stops because a domino stores energy, and a domino, when you put it on its side, actually captures energy, and it's in the form of action potential. So if you're a human being, your day, as you stand up on your feet, you're storing action potential. And if you're knocking over no more action potential than you currently are, meaning you're not growing any day, you're just living each day like you did yesterday. And no result will happen. You'll keep living, but you won't grow. But the domino stores enough energy. This is what the fascinating things about the domino effect is. A 2-inch domino can not only knock over a 2-inch domino, but it stores enough energy to knock over a 3-inch domino. This is a mathematical and a fact. So when you store it, that 2-inch domino can grow, and you'll have a better outcome. So you can actually knock over something higher than your own self, and it never stops. So a 2-inch domino can knock over a 3 can knock over a 4, and a 4 can knock over almost a 7-inch domino. And this progression continues if you do it in order, where ultimately a 2-inch domino, 18 times repeated, can knock over a 2-story building. Like, you have a lot of action potential. So that's the domino effect. So the 3 books that go along with that are these 3 books here, which is the very top of my bookshelf, which is Essentialism, is by Greg McGowan. And it's a book about the relentless pursuit of less, not more. Everybody wants to be more to everybody, everything to everyone, and they become not really anyone to anybody. So where you can make a difference in the world, where you can be valuable. This is a business summit. So where in business, what's the one solution or the one outcome that you can provide that one person, that you can become the number one person in the world at, or your world, right? Cut away from all else and pursue it. And then start with why, as Simon Sinek's book is, not what you want to be, but why you want to be that person. Like, why, what is the story that you're going to install? For me, it was, I didn't want to be the guy that drank himself to death that almost died from alcoholic liver failure. And if it weren't for a prisoner and divine intervention, I'd be dead, because I was saved by a prisoner. And, so I have a powerful why that I'm given an opportunity to survive and do something with it. So my why was, I wanted to be a superhero, and I wanted to be a teacher and a curator and a mentor. And I didn't want to be what they wanted me to be, which was, they said I had a disease and I was an addict and there was something broken about my brain and I'd have to be in recovery my whole life. I just didn't connect with that idea. So I wanted to be somebody that had a reason to live and had great ideas to share with people each day. And then finally, the one thing by Gary Keller. The one thing by Gary Keller is the domino effect. It talks exactly about the one thing you can do today. There's always one thing in front of you, not 100. There's one big thing you need to do, and it's super obvious to you if you really get truthful with yourself. Like, if your philosophy on your own life is your truth. Like, what's true for you? What are you capable of doing? All right. And then if that's the case, and you're really sure you want to do that one thing for that one person, okay, now you can repeat it hundreds and thousands and millions of times potentially, but that strategy of one, all right, what's the one best thing to do today that by doing that, and that alone propels you closer and towards your goal tomorrow. So every day, one thing done well will start to grow your dominoes. Right. And man, you can make a lot of progress with that one idea. Just get super clear about what your one thing is. I got a lot of props. I'm like Carrot Top, right? So this is a metaphor of a cheeseburger. So in business, the metaphor of a cheeseburger is the meat is your audience. Like in business, like who's your audience? Who's your one person? And their cheese is what's their one major problem, like the one that's in the way, like so obvious to people. Like right now, there's problems with people's health. There's problems because of pandemic. There's problems with people's wealth. People are out of work or their businesses have been disrupted. There's problems with people's relationships. I met talking to a young lady last night that can't meet anybody because it's difficult to date. So if you can solve a problem for somebody, right, and the rest of the bun, you got an audience with a problem. The top of the bun is an outcome that you can deliver in the form of an offer. So you give them an offer. All right. And the bottom is your believability, your authority. And under what authority do you speak? Do I believe you? So your business model is as simple as a cheeseburger. You have an audience with a problem. You have an outcome that you can offer them that you can be the best in the world at. And you have the authority or the empathy. You can show up in empathy if you're not you don't have to be a best-selling author. You can be just someone who's been through the journey themselves, a guide. The simplicity.
What is your one thing? I have somebody asking this question. What is your one thing
today
that's triggering today, right now?
Oh well, today I'm going to Cartagena tomorrow morning. But my one thing in business, today my one thing was because I'm leaving for a week and I have TikTok and my podcast and I have an audience that I try to teach them something every day. So I had to do videos. I did videos all morning and I got this interview. So that's done. Mm-hmm. So my business keeps propelling. So when I do that content, I get new followers and then, and then there's more things. So it's about, that was what I had to do today in my mind. So that was it. And there's certain things, by the way, there's certain things that, and it isn't big deal, by the way. Like if I did that and nothing else today, I'm good. Right?
Yeah.
So I have a little simple mantra: learn, earn, and return. So I learn, earn, and return every day, and I set up these blocks, these time blocks, and these are bookends, right?
Okay.
So these are the bookends of your day. Like I wake up, I have a morning routine, I move, I meditate, I spend a couple hours actually, and the end of the day, I shut down.
How long?
3 hours. It's longer than a lot.
Meditating?
Yeah. Oh no, I only meditate about 15 minutes. 15 minutes,
okay.
A little bit of movement, some reading. That's my goal. Sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's only an hour, depending on the day. But every day I get up, I have a daily routine, and I end every night, with the digital sunset. So no phones in my room. So I don't want to, I want to sleep well. Sleep's very important in life. In the middle are the blocks of time that you have for learning, earning, and returning. Like this is the form of returning. You've asked me to come talk to your friends, and I've agreed to do that because it's something I think is a good thing to do without any agenda. And then taking in learning books. I just read a book by Johann Hari called Lost Connections, which is a great book, very timely about depression and anxiety. And then I got, today I don't have anything and I'm not selling today. So if I'm earning money, I'm on a sales call or I'm building something that we're selling a product or working on a sales video. But I try to kind of put that into my day because I'm traveling tomorrow. It's a little bit different, but for the most part, you do one good thing a day.
That's awesome.
With health, wealth, or relationships. If you get good, you can do one thing in each area a day, and then you can really start to create a multiplier effect.
Absolutely. Learn, earn, return.
Learn, earn, return. Take it to the bank.
Yeah. Now you had the liver transplant. You talked about your past. Well, you said that there was the mindset you did not want to. You didn't want to end up where you were, or even worse. So, what first domino did you take to make, or decision? What did you cut away, or how did you find the power to do that, to cut it away? Because you're dealing not just with physical dealings, but you're dealing with a whole bunch of mental things going on. Because you were high up, you're making money sometimes, and when we at that mindset, you don't want to change. You think you're God in a way. And I'm not saying that you thought that, but we can think in a place of, Are
you, just to be clear, are you talking about pre or post transplant? They're like two different lives from me, like two birthdays.
So I'm saying pre-transplant, you need to stop drinking. Did the transplant, or did the liver just go bad and you had to just let go of drinking period, or did you have to go into a process of cutting out your strongholds?
I mean, I was drinking 30 ounces of vodka a day. So I was 350 pounds, morbidly obese, hypertension, and I wandered in. I woke up like any other day, wandered into an emergency room. I had kind of tightness in my chest, and after a long series of tests and some strange looks from the doctor, it occurred to me that something really serious was wrong. And he came to me and said, it wasn't my heart, it's your liver. Your liver and your pancreas are shutting down, and you could die tonight. So yeah. So I was instantly transformed, taken to a new identity from CEO with a 7-figure income to labeled alcoholic, and you're put on a list to get a liver transplant, where only one person survives out of 3, because there's more people that need them than there are organs. And when you're alcoholic, you're on the bottom of the list. So quitting drinking is a requirement of transplant, but when the doctor left that moment, I knew I would never drink again. So I made that decision. I cut alcohol on the spot out of my life. I didn't take a pill. I didn't do a program. I just shut it down.
You wanted to live.
My journey to accomplishment, chasing the buck, turned into pure survival. So it's like that's the one thing. And the one thing was a series of, I had to drink under a liter of water a day. I had to eat less calories. I had to sleep. I had to get into a hospital. I had to get on the list. I had to do a bunch of shit. I had to go to rehab, believe it or not.
Right.
That's what they called me an addict. So I had to do all these things, and I had 6 months left to live, is what I was told. And the average wait time for a liver transplant was 323 days. So I didn't have enough time. And if I didn't get super lucky, meaning this beautiful soul in Alabama that died in the prison, who had an IV drug use history, was what's called high-risk donor. Through his death, my life was saved, but somebody else could have used the liver too, and they probably died. So I have 3 people in the equation when I think about this. It's not just me, it's me being fortunate and lucky, and then the person that died somewhere else in the world that was unfortunate and unlucky, and then the beautiful donor, the nameless donor to this day I don't know, who saved my life. I have to carry that torch of meaning.
Yes.
So I'm carrying 2 people's torches, as well as my own. So that was just a little bit. Thank you.
I believe you're carrying it well, and I didn't know you back then, but I really, just watching you now, I can see that you're blessing so many people, the world. You're one person, and the fire is igniting, because you have put a little fire in me when I'm watching your videos and things like that. You're definitely been a blessing to the world. So you're doing the right thing. I'm saying whatever you wanted to do, you're getting it done.
Thank you.
Accomplishing that. Now, you were advising, and I want to talk about finance a little bit, because you have a lot of knowledge in this, and I don't know how much time I have left, but let's see. Oh man, I don't have that much time. You're giving so much good nuggets. Next time I'm having my interviews a little longer so I can get more information.
That's okay.
But finance-wise, help us out. Starting entrepreneur, just getting into business. What type of advice from your background do they need to get money? And I say we can't make money, but we can earn it. What is it? How can they build or find ways other than just borrowing from a bank, and the bank say you can't get qualified for this because it's not going to work? How do you create this revenue to build or expand your business? If that makes any sense.
It's a great question. It is wonderfully important start to any journey is capitalization. One thing you can do with the beautiful thing of the internet, the world's been trained to do business like this. So you don't have to be a pioneer like I was a few years ago teaching people online, because one of the things I wanted to end up in was an anywhere lifestyle. So I wrote a book called The Anywhere Advisor, which is how to pandemic proof your life so that you can work from anywhere on earth. And it doesn't need a lot of capital, but you do need to sustain. And one great skill set that you should learn if you are going to do that is to sell.
Okay.
The first book you should learn is about persuasion. There's a couple of good ones. I did a podcast about the 25 cognitive biases, and I've done a lot of TikToks on how to sell and persuade people. There's a million different books. So Jordan Belfort, The Wolf of Wall Street, wrote a good book about selling. Like, adopt a philosophy of selling. If you don't know how to sell, go to work for a company that'll let you sell for them, because they normally have sales training. So when you sell, you don't need inventory, you don't need capital, you're just selling their product to their audience. But what you're really doing is you're getting some seed money for your side hustle, and you're getting skills that you can optimize for your whole life. So selling is a great way to do that. And that's a lot of times people say, where do I start? I want to start a website, or I want to start a Shopify store, or I want to do affiliate marketing. All of that requires knowledge and skill. I would learn how to sell first, because once you sell someone else's product, selling your own product that you really love and care about is easy.
Right,
everybody has something they can do for someone that they can sell in the form of advice. The easiest thing to sell is your own advice from your own wisdom. So when you have somebody that has a pain in their lives, a person with a problem is looking for an outcome. People don't pay you for their time, they pay you for the problem that you solve. So if you have people that are struggling with their marriage, and you can teach them how to save that marriage, there is no price tag you can put on that outcome. But if you can do it, they'll pay you well.
Absolutely.
And if you can do it over and over again, that's a relationship product. Okay. So if you can teach someone how to get more healthy mentally, there's a lot of people out there through meditation, yoga, modalities, and you can teach someone to go from pure distress and despair to connection and transformation, if not transcendence. They will pay you for that outcome. Right. And you can just build that bridge. But selling is required to starting any business. The chief executive officer needs to be the very best salesperson on the team. And I always was. Awesome. And I still am, because I know, when you when you're speaking your truth about helping someone, and you have these three things in life, you want sales 101 right now, you need to have enthusiasm, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to be enthusiastic. You need to be certain, your tonality needs to be certain that it'll work. And then you need to have alignment. You need to be righteous in what you're doing. It has to work, and you have to know it, because if you're selling something that won't work, they'll pick up on it. Emerson wrote, absolutely, who you are shouts so loudly in my ears, I cannot hear one word you say. Your vibe, your tonality, and your physiology will communicate that you're not real. So be real, be valuable to people, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And then you can figure out how to be valuable to the world.
Yeah. My girlfriend calls it Project Me. M-E.
Right on. Good awesome. Idea.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. This is so, and I could sit down all day with you, because you're so full of treasure.
My mom told me I was full of something else.
Shit, no. No, I'm joking. But that's funny. But you are full of treasure, and people are so important. I don't know. I'm just feeling this right now. The importance of people realizing that the treasure is in us. It's not the money. The treasure is in the people, and once you get those treasures, like you were saying, working on yourself, this is, I guess, a takeaway for everybody that's watching. As I see your transition, and I say, because I'm hearing your transition of what you told me from your past to right now, the pouring that you've had to do to grow as the person that you are, that's more than the money that you created. Now, not saying, because everybody want to make some money or create revenue, but the man that you are is way more valuable than the money you could ever create or make. And it looks like that you're able to be successful financially because you have built or grown yourself as a person. Does that make sense? Am I saying it right or no?
Yeah, money is fair. Whatever you do for somebody, if the outcome's a really big outcome and you can charge more because there's a lot of emotion connected to it, just be fair about it. It's a trade. I mean, the word trade means what can you trade for somebody? And before there was money, there was trade. I'll help you with something if you help me. And the money that you earn from that will direct you in the right or wrong way, the way you process yourself. You need to be connected to a meaningful project and help someone in a meaningful way. And for that, you'll be paid well. And you'll do with your money the same exact thing everyone else does with their money. The extra money, like I had a lot of extra money, that was all crap. It didn't matter. And not to say that money doesn't matter, but a bad relationship with money, doing things for the wrong reasons, will get you in the wrong place. And after a certain amount of money, by the way, I met a billionaire on the way to Berkshire Hathaway's event with Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, and he was telling me, he was like, after $50,000 a month, which is $600,000, this is a billionaire. He says, I can't spend any more money than that without being obnoxious. Like, that's a lot of money. It's the top 1%, but how much more is that? Like, there's not an easy way, but there's a very definable way to earn that amount of money. You can just break down that amount of money. It's not $600,000 a year. It's about $2,000 a day, right? Maybe about $1,500 a day. All right. So you can sell 15 $100 products, or you can sell one $1,500 coaching product. Right. You break it down. You say, well, I can kind of do that. So if a billionaire says $50,000 is the most amount of money you could possibly ever spend, why don't you start there? Because after that, if you get extra money, you could be, philanthropy and charity, and you can help your people that you care about. But it's my favorite time I spend each week is teaching students in London. I teach at a university now, and I teach them ethical digital marketing. How to ethically persuade people to give them the dominoes to an outcome, so you can make a good pay without being fake. A lot of fakes out there, unfortunately. There's a lot of them. Yeah. So that's a cheeseburger. You gotta be an authority, a real person.
I know our time is winding up, and I know, let's see, my tech is telling me wind it up, but I want to ask you, y'all have a free gift. Mr. Terrance is giving you a free gift, and his book, and I would bring it up, but I'm not a tech savvy. I'm going to show y'all this picture because I have a video, but this book here, it is the Anywhere Advisor, which is exciting. So you guys, you hear the nuggets that he has. Oh, he has a picture of it. Good, because I have the picture right here. I'm like,
so this is the book, and this is the map. Now I wrote this book in the pandemic because people were all of a sudden stuck at home. So there's a 10-step algorithm on how to create a digital business, and very simple, like Sesame Street simple. And that's the framework that you can start to use to start a journey. And I wrote this for financial advisors. It worked for a yoga teacher. It worked for anybody, a trainer, a psychologist, a doctor, a realtor, anybody.
Awesome. Well, I'm a realtor, so I'll definitely check it out. Now, I'm going to ask you this: the app too. You have an app. Yeah.
My app's called Recreate, and there's three things in my app, because I wanted to teach people from my own platform, not somebody else's, because that could go away. So I built an app. It's coming out this month. It's called Recreate. Boost your brain, build your business. And each day I have about a 5-minute daily domino, which is an idea that I have learned from somewhere in the world, and I do it every single day. And it gets delivered to the app. I get books, I curate books, and then in the app I have packs, learning packs. Like I have a 10 video companion to that book. I have three packs in there, and I'm going to be expanding that with expert interviews. So there's like a load of value, and I've priced it to be a 1-month charge equal to what minimum wage is in that country. Kind of a philosophy, like just pay a little. So in India it might be 50 cents. If you have anyone from India, I have a big audience in India, but in the States it might be $7, $8 a month. So it's going to be about $100 a year, and for that you're going to get 365 big ideas every day. live. I'm going to do some live stuff. I've curated 50 books that are already in there, fully outlined, and then the pack. So there's a lot of value in there. But I wanted just a way to mentor people each day without talking to 3 million people at one-on-one.
That's
there's
creative.
a 7-day free trial in that link, and it doesn't come out till next month, but you get on a list.
So guys, check the links. We do have the free gift link, and then we also put on the chat the free trial. If you want to try that app out, you can. Guys, sign up. I'm definitely going to sign up. So, and I was going to tell you, Mr. Terrance, if you ever need to buy real estate in Texas, I am here to help you.
Right. You never know.
Anyway, you never know. But anyway, I thank you so much for being on the show. As I was telling Mr. Roots, this is an honor for me to be able to to speak to you and to get this treasure, and I always call it treasure, but the good nuggets that you have given me, gold nuggets, to keep pressing, and all of the entrepreneurs that are watching. I hope you guys are taking notes. Just thank you so much. Thank you. I'm grateful.
My pleasure.
Blessings.
My complete pleasure.
You have an awesome vacation.
Thank you.
Trip. Enjoy yourself. I wish I could join you. But
thank you.
Enjoy yourself. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I had everybody clapping. Woo-hoo!